Welcome to our VirtuaLaw Legal Analysis series. In today's episode, we will discuss the meaning, application and sample case of alter ego doctrine. Let's dive right into it. The alter ego doctrine is a legal principle that refers to a situation where a court holds one individual or entity liable for the actions or decisions of another individual or entity, treating them as one and the same. In Latin, alter ego translates to other self or second self. The doctrine is often applied in corporate law, international law, and government contexts. Application. The alter ego doctrine is applied when two entities are so closely related or interconnected that they effectively function as one, blurring the lines between them. In such cases, a court may pierce the corporate veil or look beyond the formal legal distinctions between the entities and treat them as a single entity for legal purposes. This is typically done to prevent individuals or entities from using separate legal entities to shield themselves from liability or to engage in fraudulent activities. The doctrine is commonly used in two main areas. 1. Corporate law. In corporate law, the alter ego doctrine may be invoked when shareholders or owners of a corporation abuse the corporate structure to avoid personal liability. If a court finds that the corporation and its owners are effectively operating as one, it may hold the owners personally liable for the debts or obligations of the corporation. 2. International law. In the context of international law, the alter ego doctrine can be applied to hold a country responsible for the actions of a separate entity when the entity is acting as the country's alter ego. For example, if a state-owned company engages in harmful activities in another country, that country may seek to hold the country itself accountable under the alter ego doctrine if it can be proven that the state exercises significant control over the company's actions. Case sample. Case: alter ego doctrine in corporate law. Let's consider a hypothetical case to illustrate the application of the alter ego doctrine in corporate law. Company XYZ is a construction firm owned by John. He incorporates the company to protect his personal assets from business-related liabilities. However, instead of maintaining proper corporate formalities and keeping the business separate from his personal affairs, John commingles personal and company funds, fails to maintain corporate records, and uses the company's assets for personal expenses. One day, while working on a construction project, an accident occurs, causing severe injuries to a worker. The injured worker sues company XYZ to seek compensation for the damages. During the legal proceedings, the injured worker's lawyers argue that the alter ego doctrine should be applied. They claim that John and company XYZ are effectively operating as one entity, and the corporate structure is being misused to evade personal liability. The court examines the evidence and determines that John has indeed disregarded the separate legal entity of the company and treated it as an extension of himself. It is evident that the company is merely an alter ego of John, and the corporate veil should be pierced. As a result, the court holds John personally liable for the damages caused by company XYZ, and he will have to pay the compensation to the injured worker out of his personal assets. It's important to note that the alter ego doctrine is a complex legal concept, and its application depends on the specific facts and circumstances of each case. courts will carefully analyze the relationship between the entities and the extent of control, and disregard for corporate formalities before deciding to pierce the corporate veil and apply the doctrine. That's all for this episode. Stay tuned for more legal insights in our future episode. Remember, understanding landmark case helps us comprehend the intricacies of our legal system. See you next time. Like and subscribe.